Hi, in a second you will see a video that I've just filmed, and I'm really sorry I go off on so many tangents. I am very out of practice with recording, but anyway, please forgive me. Here goes my catch-up video. Hi, I'm Belle, welcome back to my channel after an extremely long period of time. I'm sorry I disappeared. I think the last time I spoke to everybody, it was like July or August. So I'm really sorry that I've been gone for a bit. But hello. I don't know what this video really is going to turn out like, but I was conscious that it had been a couple of months, and a couple of really lovely people who watch me have got in touch just to check I'm okay, say they're thinking of me. And I thought, A, how lovely, but B, I thought I should check in and say how I'm doing, and also find out how you all are, because whoa, this has been quite a year, hasn't it? Today is Sunday the 25th of October. The clocks went back this morning. This year, 2020, what is going on? So I just wanted to update you on a couple of things. I can't believe we're nearly at the end of October. I just don't know where this year has gone. Last time I saw you, I wasn't working. I had lost my job at the beginning of lockdown, and then I had 5 or 6 months, I think, without work. And then in August I started a temp role, which I'm able to do from home because it's an office job. Normally I would be in central London for it, but fortunately I can do it at home. So I've been doing that since August, and I've just been extended until the end of January, which is really good. So that is definitely a weight off my mind, because as I mentioned previously, I live on my own, and so not having an income for 5 or 6 months was obviously not ideal in terms of paying my bills. So it was a huge relief when I got this job, and it's doing something slightly different, but it's kind of it's a kind of office role. So it just means that the weight is taken off a little bit in terms of worry about money, and so that's what I've been doing in terms of work. So I'm really grateful to have that job. As I say, I've been extended till the end of January. I was initially taken on just for 3 months, but I've just been extended for another 3. So that's really good and reassuring, fortunately. I look a bit different, don't I? So I had my hair done about 3 weeks ago, I think. And my natural colour is kind of reddy blonde. And I'd been getting blonder and blonder for I've probably been blonde on and off for about 20 years, something like that. I did have darker hair about 10 years ago, and then it just gradually got lighter and lighter. And then with me, I don't know if I've talked about this too much in the past, but I have quite bad anxiety and OCD. And so for me, even though I live in an area where we can go out and stuff still, I have actually been staying in pretty much since March. I went out a little bit in the summer, and I try and go out sort of once a week and either pop round to my family's, but I stay in the garden. I've got various people in my family who've got who are sort of, I can't remember what the phrase is, who would normally be shielding, and so I don't want to put them at any risk. So I pop round to the house, sit in the garden. Today I dropped round to my dad's, and I had my hood up and just doing the garden. It was spitting a little bit, but it was fine. And so I do bits and pieces like that, but I haven't been kind of going out too much. I haven't been to a pub or a restaurant or anything since this all started right at the beginning of the year. So I've been to a couple of cafes sort of and sat outside over the summer, but I think with the numbers going up and up round here, certainly, I just want to be careful so that I can still see my family without too much worry, albeit outside. But also that if I ever need to help out with anything, that I'm not worried about putting anybody at risk. And I know that sounds massively overly cautious. And I think what I've learned over this period of time is we are all experiencing a similar pandemic, but we're all experiencing it in a slightly different way. And I think the way we are seeing everything is different from person to person. And I think we've all just got to do what we think is best for our personal situation. Some people, I've got lots of friends who choose to go out a lot, and then I've got other friends who are a bit more like me. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way, as long as we're sort of following the rules and trying to be safe. But anyway, this all started because of my hair. So yeah, so I over lockdown, obviously I didn't do anything with my hair. The hairdressers were shut, and yeah. And then I thought, over that period of time, my roots had started to get not great. And I thought, I was flicking through I think I had my hair done once in the summer when the hairdressers reopened, and I had my foils done, which takes a long time, and I was blonde again. And then a few weeks ago, I was flicking through like an online clothes shop. I think I was on like the Sainsbury's 2 website looking at clothes, like autumn colours and stuff, and the leaves are beautiful here, really, really autumnal. And I was flicking through like the autumn clothes, and there was this model with kind of reddy hair, and I thought, that looks lovely and really autumnal. And I had briefly this time last year sort of wondered about kind of stopping the blonde, and then over the course of this year, obviously there have been other distractions, and I just thought, as we go towards I wanted to have kind of autumny coloured hair, but also I thought, as we go towards winter, I don't want to have to keep going to the hairdressers. I want to be able to have hair that I can kind of do myself with a kind of at-home kit. Firstly, because it's really expensive to go to the hairdressers, but secondly, I just don't want to be out and about and kind of in that sort of situation. So I didn't get my hair cut, I just got it coloured. I just booked an appointment on the Friday, totally out of the blue, and then just decided to go for it, and 2 days later I'd had it done. So I'm pleased with it. Hopefully it's going to be slightly lower maintenance. But yeah, anyway, so that's why my hair is different. And then in terms of food and slimming and all that kind of stuff, I rejoined Slimming World just before I stopped recording, I think. And I did a couple of Zoom classes online when the Zoom classes were still running. But I wasn't really following the plan. And then my Slimming World consultant went off to have a baby, so and she couldn't find anybody to cover a group. So I had a few weeks where there wasn't a group, and then the group reopened, and for the same reason I've just explained, I felt like I kind of didn't really, even though I know they would have made it super safe and everything, I just kind of decided that wasn't for me. But I was aware that all this kind of staying in was at some point going to start to take its toll on my weight. So if you remember, over last winter, where I was kind of quite unhappy, I put on lots and lots of weight, lots of comfort eating. And then at the beginning of lockdown, I was still a little bit naughty in terms of what I was eating. And then for the first bit of lockdown, I was pretty focused. I did some calorie counting, and I was doing an exercise video on YouTube most mornings. And I think in the spring and the summer, it's so lovely being outside, and you just feel, I felt sort of more motivated, I think, probably to lose weight. Not that I was going out that much, but on the occasional walk where I did go out, or I could just see the sunshine, I kind of was a bit more motivated. And I think at that point, I still hoped that we would be able to do stuff in the summer and go out and about and things, and maybe go on a holiday. That didn't happen. But yeah, so I was quite conscious as I sort of was getting into kind of August time that if I didn't sort myself out, I was going to start putting weight back on. And so I looked at joining Slimming World online and looked at the cost of that, and I did a few bits on my Fitness Pal, which is obviously free, and then after a bit of research, I decided that the best value for me and what I was trying to get out of it was to join Weight Watchers online, because they were doing a bit of a deal, I think, and I think I just weighed up the costs, and what I really wanted to use it for was, and obviously this sounds a bit expensive when I say it out loud, but what I wanted to do was to be able to just track my weight and have that regular commitment of weighing in each week, albeit on my scales here, but still weighing in each week and not being able to see the weight kind of unravel, but just to kind of keep myself in check, because yeah, I just didn't want it to get too kind of out of control. So I rejoined Weight Watchers online, and I weigh in now on a Saturday morning. I joined 3 weeks ago, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the Weight Watchers, I do it online. Obviously, I don't go to group. And I can't remember how much I paid, but there was some kind of deal on that made it kind of good value. So I basically, some days I do the Weight Watchers green plans. There's green, blue and purple. I do the Weight Watchers green plan, but I have to be honest, I do it intermittently. The real kind of takeaways that I'm trying to do at the moment are to eat more fruit and vegetables and to try and reach for them as opposed to reaching for biscuits or whatever, and trying to kind of fill myself up with fruit and veg, and just trying to sort of keep myself going in the right direction, really, because I'm not getting a huge amount of exercise. I really, really, really need to get back into working out in front of the TV again, because I enjoyed that. It set me up for the day. But since I've been working, I have been pretty slack, to be honest. I've been working some very long hours, but I have been quite slack on the exercise front, so I need to get back into that. So so I haven't been following the Weight Watchers plan really super strictly, but I have been using it on the days that I want to track what I'm eating. I've been using it to weigh in each Saturday and track my weight so I can see my progress. And when I joined Weight Watchers online, I think, 3 weeks ago, I think. And then the first week I lost £3, I think, or £3.5. Then I lost £0.5. And then this week I've lost like £0.25 or something like that. So the last 2 weeks I haven't lost a huge amount. I think my weight loss over the last 3 weeks has been something like 4.25 or 4.5, something like that, pounds, which isn't a huge amount. I think my weight at the moment is 13 stone and 1/8 of a pound. So if you remember, my highest weight was 14 stone 6.5. I'm now 13 stone and 1/8 of a pound, I think. And I want to get down ideally below 12, although what I have realised as I get older and have a lot of time on my own to reflect about life is I do want to be obviously the healthiest me I can be, but I've always also realised during this period that life is really, really, really short, and I don't want to make my life shorter by just eating cakes and biscuits, obviously, and I've got a sweet tooth, so that's a possibility. But I also think life is just a bit too short to be worrying about how much I weigh. Like I want to stay focused, but I'm not going to be kind of too preoccupied, I don't think, with trying to get down to a certain weight. I've joined Weight Watchers online so that I can track my weight and I can see what's happening. And to kind of keep me mindful of it, so that I do try and pick, 2 Satsumas as opposed to picking a bar of chocolate or something, or I do pick a mini milk instead of a Magnum. and just try and do things like that. But in reality, I have realised that I am a curvy girl. You know, this is, yes, of course I could be much slimmer, but would I be much happier if I was much slimmer? Really, you know, with this time to reflect, you realise that what's important are different things. It's about being kind and being thoughtful and being honest and being a good friend and being a good daughter or sister or whatever it may be. I just think there are sort of different qualities that I want to place more emphasis on than how much I weigh. And you know, I used to have times when I'd have a really great on-plan Slimming World weekend, and I would kind of get to the end of the weekend and I'd done absolutely nothing apart from stay on plan, and I deemed that to be a really good weekend. And it is a good weekend in terms of, you know, sticking to the plan. But in the grander scheme of things, it's not really as important as perhaps kind of making memories and going for a walk with somebody in my family, or just, I don't know, just doing, like, sometimes I think I've been so preoccupied by weight and so preoccupied by what dress size I'm wearing, and it affects how I kind of have looked at different events that I've been to. I remember, you know, I kind of look back at certain events where I was like super slim, and I think that I had a better time than if I was kind of curvier. And maybe I did, but of course my phone chooses now to be too full to cut out. So I don't know where I got up to, but I think I was saying that I am still very much so trying to lose weight, but it's not, I'm trying to not let it preoccupy my whole life. I feel like this year is hard enough as it is without beating myself up if I want to eat a mince pie or a biscuit or a slice of toast and put some clover on it. So yeah, I've also been watching a couple of really lovely YouTubers who are curvier girls like me and don't make any excuse for it, and just come across as being kind of lovely and happy and just getting on with their life. And I just feel I've wasted so much time thinking about losing weight, and I don't know, I just feel like life is so short. But that being said, as I say, I'm trying to eat fruit and veg because it fills me up and it's good for me. I've also been eating a lot of root veggie soup. So I just get one of the packs from like Asda that's £1, and it's got a couple of carrots, an onion, a swede, and a couple of parsnips or a parsnip. And I just chop that up, chuck it in the soup maker with some veggie stock, and that fills me right up, which is lovely. I have been buying quite a lot of sort of autumn fruit, so plums I've been loving, satsumas I've been loving. I'd like to do some baked apples with mincemeat and kind of sort of chopped hazelnuts and almonds and chuck them in the oven at some point, but I haven't done that yet. I've been getting some apples off my parents' trees, which has been really nice. So I've been having bits and pieces like that, but I've also been absolutely having bread and like toast and bagels and crumpets and things like that with my soup. So I've not been overly consumed and worried about it, but I do want the kind of general direction of travel of my weight to be that. I'm just a bit more comfortable if it's this as opposed to that. And yeah, I'm conscious that Christmas is only around the corner, and I will definitely want to eat mince pies and Christmas pudding and things like that. So I just want to kind of create a little bit of a deficit. The things that I've been doing to kind of try and not cheer myself up, because I wouldn't say I'm sad at the moment, but to lift my spirits, because I think sometimes you can get very consumed in the news and I don't know, just for me, like I can become very obsessed with the numbers where I live and the number of cases, and become quite concerned and worried and let my brain kind of run away with itself. So to try and keep myself cheery, I've been doing a couple of things. So I've got my autumn decor up. I've got some displays with kind of pine cones and acorns and cinnamon sticks and things like that. I've got some sort of faux autumn flowers in there that I think I got from Dunelm, which are nice and kind of autumny. My sister and nephew in the summer gave me a big lump of wood that they had got when they went camping, and I've got that. And then I've done a big sort of picture which I did with a photo that we took last year when we went pumpkin picking. So it's got my two sisters, me and my nephew, and we're on a tractor, and we've all been pumpkin picking last year, and we're all really smiley. And I've just put it, I've expanded it, printed it out on a background of kind of autumn leaves, and I've just put it in a big frame, and that's part of my kind of autumn decor as well, and that's made me really cheery. I also am trying to do lots of FaceTimes with my friends and family to try and keep me connected with people. I've started a virtual film club with one of my friends who's on her own like me as well, and we're having a couple of sort of themed films that we're watching, not together, but we talk about it when we kind of have a virtual coffee once a week. She lives in London and I'm out in Surrey, so when we have our little kind of catch-up coffee over the phone, we talk about the films that we've watched, and we've been watching a lot of the old classics like Hocus Pocus, and what else this week? I've got The Addams Family to watch. I've got the one with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock. What's her name? What's it called? It will come to me. I'm sure you're shouting at the screen. Halloween film, Practical Magic, I think that's what it's called. So lots of really fun films like that. We watched When Harry Met Sally, which was just beautiful. So things like that are kind of feel good. The other thing I'm trying to do is not watch as much news, because it can become kind of all consuming. And the other thing I'm doing is rather than popping the news on, I'm putting some music on and just having a little dance around my lounge. So I've been having, I'd recommend Dolly Parton 9 to 5, which I've been loving, pumped up really loud. A bit of Adele I've had on. I've had just really fun, feel-good music that just kind of makes you feel, not that Adele makes me feel that cheery, but because her music's a bit heartbreak, isn't it? But, you know, that kind of music that you can really belt out, have a little bop to, and whatever kind of brings a smile to your face really at this time. I really think that's what we should be doing more of. So anyway, that's me. I'm sure there's loads I meant to tell you about that I haven't told you about, but I'm sure my storage is going to run out again, so I'm speaking really, really quickly. So I will jump on again soon. I haven't done any what I eat in a days because I don't want to take anyone off course by showing you, you know, a crumpet or something that isn't on whatever plan you're doing, and then you're doing really well, and then I show you something, and then I take you off your track. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I haven't been doing any kind of foodie kind of videos really over the last couple of months. So I don't think about you. I think about you all the time, and I really genuinely hope you're all doing okay. I know this year has been tough. It's been tough for lots of people in lots of different ways. I think it's very easy to think that everybody else is having a great time of it, and to think that life would be better if, you know, you had a partner or a husband or whatever, you know, or you were working or you weren't working, or you had the kids at home or you didn't have the kids at home. I think everybody thinks that somebody else possibly has it easier than them, but I would say for everybody, in one way or another, this year is tough to navigate. It really is a corona coaster. I feel that from an emotional point of view, I have times when I'm, you know, really positive, really cheery. I'm just grateful that all of my friends and family are still, touch wood, safe and well, and then I have moments where I find it really hard. And you know, I think at the moment we've just got to be really kind to ourselves and just kind of do, as I say, do whatever we can to make ourselves cheery and happy, as long as it, you know, doesn't make anyone else's life hard. I think, you know, do what you can to make yourself and your family and friends' lives as happy as they can be, because we've got winter ahead of us, and who knows what winter's going to bring. But I really, really hope that you're all staying safe. I hope you're all okay. I hope that you are staying connected to your friends and family. I hope that you're taking care of yourselves. And yeah, I would recommend, if you can, putting a bit of music on, whatever it is that keeps you cheery, and having a little bop around your house or your flat, because it really, really has cheered me up this week. I'm also writing my gratitude journal. That has really helped me as well. And I've also I bought a couple of items of clothing from Sainsbury's online that were a size 14. For a long time, I've been buying clothes in a size 12. And I'm not a size 12, I'm a size 14. So rather than having lots of things in my wardrobe that I get miserable about that I can't wear, I now buy clothes that fit me. Absolute revelation. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Let me know how you're all getting on. Let me know how your weight loss journey's going. Let me know if you're still going with it or if you've parked it for a bit. Genuinely, I hope you're all okay. And as I say, I'm really sorry that I've been AWOL, but I will try and check in a little bit more frequently. I am still posting on Instagram a lot more frequently than YouTube, and so yeah, if you follow me on there, you'll already obviously be seeing that. But yeah, all there is to be said is you take care of yourselves and stay in touch, and sending big hugs. I hope you all have a lovely week.